Oh man, see, this is turning into a new 52 rant. I got I got to get this off my chest. I'm on video. I got to get this off my chest real quick. Um, we're a year in, a little over a year yet, right?
Yeah,
Um,
and the
why are we
sets are finally starting to trickle off. So
yeah going back to how they were?
yeah,
If y'all don't know, I'm a huge Green Lantern fan. If y'all didn't know that, but why are we getting so many crossovers with so many books all at one time? Like all at the same time. It's all happening all at one time. Marvel is a victim of this at times too. I can admit. I would say comic books in general are a victim of this, but it seems like every book at DC right now is somehow tied into another. This is ridiculous. Like it's just it's flat out too much. Like Green Lantern. Now I want to read this event. It's this event happening called the Rise of the Third Army. They did this real cool thing where Sinestro made a ring, but just quick, I'm trying to explain this as quick as possible. It is a real cool thing where Sinestro made a ring for Hal Jordan because the Guardians kicked Hal out of the Green Lantern Corps because he broke it. Like the thing is, a Rogue Guardian tried to get all of the elements from the different colors of the spectrum, and Hal did a lot of shit that they forbid you to do, like in order to save everyone. And you know the Guardians, they're jerks, so they stripped him of his ring and a new ring, and Sinestro a new ring. The thing was, Sinestro needed his help, so he made Hal Jordan a ring. But the thing is that he could power and depower the ring as he chose to, and you know it's pretty much it turns into a lethal weapon at that point. It's awesome, and then there's this point where they die. The thing is that they both die together, so they can use their battery. Like they had to separate their battery from the main battery, so a new Lantern can have this power without being corrupted from the Guardian, because the Guardians are playing this giant thing where they're trying to police the universe like they used to with the Manhunters. So they gave this ring to this new guy that they did nothing to set up or anything like that, because DC is so money hungry that they just have to this has to be a crossover. So he finds this new ring, and then this guy, Hal Jordan and Sinestro, their essence explains that you're Green Lantern, willpower, don't trust the Guardians, blah blah blah, and then. Meanwhile, at the same time in space, the Guardians are telling all the Earth Lanterns in space to do like random shit. The thing is this, okay? This does not need to connect. Like the point is that the thing that made it so unique was that everything Hal Jordan and Sinestro was doing really had nothing to do with what all the different honor guard and all the lanterns were doing. This was something totally different. Why are y'all trying to shoehorn this so I have to buy every book? I'm going to, because they got me like that. I'm a little mad because I don't want to.
I'm gonna make you even madder.
What?
So if the whole idea was that they were gonna create this new Green Lantern, why didn't they just? Because from what it sounds like, why didn't they just do a new Jay Gardner and the new 52?
What you mean? Oh, who you talking about?
Talking about Jay.
Flash, Jay Garrick. Oh,
I mean,
God.
not Jay Garrett. Freaking what's his name? No, the original Green Lantern.
Oh, Alan Scott.
Alan Scott. Sorry.
That would have made a whole lot of sense. Maybe a guy creating his own Green Lantern. That would have made a lot of sense, wouldn't it? You really didn't need to. But I mean, I guess because of the I don't know. I feel like this all it doesn't need to be connected though. Like the stories have been so different. And, all I've been reading, because the new 52 sucks in terms of the Lantern universe, is Green Lantern, Green Lantern Corps. Everything else is crap. And the thing that was going on for them, it's almost like if you're watching a TV show and a random character pops up from like another TV show. Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't make much sense. Because they were so separate, and now it's like they're forcing it to happen, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And it's all for money. It's ridiculous.
Well,
Animal Man and Swamp Thing doing the same. DC, they're crazy.
I agree. Well, just look at Batman, because I'm not reading the other Batman books.
And Snyder is doing a good job to where you don't have to.
I'm not going to read those other freaking Batman books. I don't want to read them.
And I think, and I'm actually about to give credit to the other creators right now, because I think they all understand that. The thing is, I think John has his hand in all these Lantern books. Yeah, I really do. I think he pretty much tells them, hey, we need to make this a crossover, so they have to read all the. No, like the thing that I think the Batman creators are kind of doing, they're like, okay, this is our corner of the story. Let's just tell our story for the people that have been reading this. You know what I mean? And I think Johns is pretty much telling these guys, hey, get them to read all these books. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I don't. Because I don't want to. That's too much money.
I agree. I completely agree, because,
we have to do another video. At some point, we got to do another video. We got to talk about Marvel now. We got to talk. We have to do another video.
Yeah, because we have two very different opinions on Uncanny Avengers.
You want to do that after we cut this off?
Yeah. Folks, we're gonna cut this off because I'll probably, and then we'll be back.
And that's the Batman review. Buy the movie.
Yeah, buy the movie. Buy the movie.
You want to talk about Marvel now in general?
We'll talk about Marvel now in general. So, I guess, Uncanny Avengers has come out, and as someone that reads no Marvel whatsoever, did not read X-Men versus Avengers or whatever it was, at least the new one. I read the old one that was good. I read the old one that was good back in the 80s. I read that was good. But, yeah. So, I picked it up, and I will say this, that it was written better than JLA1, or JL1, Justice League #1. It was definitely written better.
That wasn't hard, but...
more happened in it, without a doubt. But as somebody who at least kind of knew what was going on, I still felt like I was like, what the hell? It was a lot of they just like, oh, here's Professor X's funeral. They
didn't even show how he died. I can't remember.
They didn't even show how he died. They just, here's his funeral. Here's Wolverine giving the eulogy. Oh, by the way, Cyclops killed him. Well, and then they had the little thing with Cyclops and Alex, which was cool. I hadn't even read anything that Alex had been in probably
like 11 years.
15 years. So I was like, I haven't been reading that, So I'm like,
he hasn't done anything in so long.
He's doing that freaking Peter David detective mutant thing. And so I was like, okay, I don't understand. You had Avalanche show up and maybe kill himself. I don't know. You had
actually, it was cool.
You had Wanda and Rogue. You had Scarlet Witch and Rogue going at it, which if you were a new reader, you would have no idea what the hell that was about whatsoever.
And that is true. They didn't explain.
Yeah, where I think Justice League was a very good starting on point for people who had not read comics in forever. I think Uncanny Avengers was the complete opposite, but I think it was a better written book.
I would agree with that.
So, what about you? What do you think?
I really liked the book, but that is because I've been reading Remender's team stuff for the longest. I know what he's about. I know what to expect. This will be a great book. I can guarantee all that. But I would bet everything I have on that. But I totally echo exactly what you're saying, because if you hadn't read Avengers vs. X-Men, they didn't even talk about the Phoenix at all, because that's a huge part of that awful story. But that's a huge part. They didn't talk about. They didn't talk about some of the reason why Cap is putting a new team together. They didn't even say why. You know what I mean? They didn't, like we just said, they didn't say how Professor X died. What else did we forget to mention? I don't know. There's a lot. The point is that there's a lot of events that happen in that book that you really don't know why they happen or what led up to them happening. Like, you don't know that Scarlet Witch is the reason there's no more mutants, or that there were no more mutants. If you read, and you just read this book and you was just trying to jump on, because Marvel had been hyping this as the starting point. You had no idea what I just said was the case, because they never say in the book. So that's not good. Like, as a number one, well, not even as a number one, but as the first book of a relaunch, this was not very good. I'll admit that. But as a comic book, I thought it was almost great. So
I would
take
agree
that
with
how you
that.
want to take it.
We are in unison in that. It was
The last page is awesome.
the last page is awesome. Though I'm curious if was Remender's idea or if that is Hickman's idea.
That's I think it's a little bit of both, because Remender said he wanted to write this character, who I would not spoil. So
I'm curious.
And this character has been, and this is another. Did I miss something? Like, did they bring this character back? Because I could have swore he was like gone.
That's from what I've read. That's what a lot of people have said, that they don't remember him like coming back. So
I mean, don't get me wrong. It was cool to see this person, but
yes, I agree.
I don't remember him ever coming back after. Well, never. I don't want to ruin it at all, but yeah.
But I mean, it's a good time to bring him back.
Oh yeah, because it's a relaunch, definitely, and
Yeah,
maybe they'll. I love Ed Brubaker. So we go. Fuck it. This is a spoiler. The Red Skull is at the end, and he took Professor X's brain. Apparently, he's gonna use it. Spoiler: the book's been out for like a week. At the end of Captain America: Rebirth, which was like 3 years ago, like the Red Skull is like his mind is like lost. You know what I mean? Like his mind is. They never explain that. Like, and he's just back. You know what I mean? Body, mind, everything. It's weird.
Yeah, so that's Uncanny Avengers, and then we have we have the book that you're looking forward to, the all new X-Men, written by Bendis.
Oh my god, I hate this man, and I know hate is a strong word. Hate, but I truly believe that he does not care anymore, because there was a point in time when he was a good writer. Believe it or not, if you can believe that. I think it's at the point where he knows that Marvel will pay him the most that they pay anyone else because his books sell. For some odd reason, people buy his books, whatever. I just think that he is at the point that kind of like, a lot of musicians get to it in their careers, where they know people will see them and they just don't care what they put out because people will pay to see them. And I think that's the same thing with Bendis. Like, he takes liberties with everybody. He did this thing in Avengers when I just said, fuck this book, when he made Hawkeye and Spider-Woman get together. For what? What purpose did that serve? How does that even make any sense?
Because Spider-Woman is an underused 70s hero that he has, a heart on, like all of those underused 70s heroes. Except for Johnny Blaze, which of all of those people that people would be like, yes, use, that's the one that people would be like, yes, use, and it's the only one that he doesn't use. So I don't know. But the all new X-Men is, right? You know which one that is?
What?
That's the one where they're bringing back the different X-Men from
from back in the time. Yeah. I gotta say though, like, the premise could be interesting, but why is he writing this?
If you're gonna do that, just put Claremont on it and let him butcher it. And
just give him all the money I would read it too. Just give him all the money he wants.
Who, Claremont?
I would read it just so he'll leave all those doors open like he did in his what else he doesn't answer,
Yeah, and then then we have Avengers and New Avengers, which Avengers is going to be done by Hickman. Yep, and then New Avengers will be done by Hickman as well. So
I'm getting both of these because John Hickman is great. Simple as that.
Yeah, and he's kind of the new architect of Marvel. For those of you not aware,
which has me excited because Bendis was that, and I've been called a Marvel apologist, and I kind of wear that as a badge of honor because even though Batman is my favorite hero, I love Green Lantern. The Marvel U is kind of what I grew up with. But even when it's bad, I still stick around.
I would say this that if you're kind of curious about what he might do, definitely check out his 2 Shield books, which have nothing to do with the Shield that you know of. They're completely different.
Oh,
Um,
that is awesome.
that
That's like the Da Vinci Code in
yeah, it's like
in the Marvel U.
it's like planetary for. I always say it's like planetary for
Yeah.
a Marvel, and his Fantastic Four stuff, which is pretty freaking awesome.
Like I hadn't read much. I read Johnny Storm's death and a few other like issues people tell me to read, and
His
I can attest to it. It's great stuff.
it's it the I think that was in Johnny Storm's death issue, or it was the one after that, where they did the thing with Franklin and Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Oh my God.
That's like one of the. I was just like,
Because if y'all didn't know, you shouldn't be watching this video, but like Spidey and Human Torch are like best friends, and
yeah,
Franklin was his nephew. So
yeah. And it's his nephew, and he's talking about, well, I lost, and Spider-Man's like, well, I lost an uncle once too, and Franklin's like, well, did you think he was all the stuff? And he goes, yeah, and I wouldn't be a hero without him, and it's you got to be a man to read that book. That's all I'm gonna say.
yeah, and Hickman, he's real versed too. Like he can write emotional stuff like that and dark stuff like Manhattan Project. So
Yeah.
whatever he does with his book, I think and he's good at writing teams.
We'll skip over A and X because I don't really care about any of that.
What you talking about? What are they doing with that? I don't even
That's like they mismatch like different stuff. Like the first issue is going to be Hulk and Wolverine.
Okay. I know what you're talking about.
By Jeff Loeb and Dale Keown.
That sounds like crap, but let's just go ahead.
But the story will be crap. And then you also have Cable and Captain America by Slott and Garney. So that will be interesting. And then you have Iron Man by Gillen and Greg Land. And
I'm okay. Let me explain. Matt Fraction, who I was just talking about, Jeff Johns. This is another guy that, for all intents and purposes, sucks. He's pretty bad. Like I like the new Hawkeye, even though it's only 2 issues in. I'm tentatively saying that I like it for right now. I don't know what's going to happen from this point forward, but at this moment, I do like it. You know what I mean? And his Iron Man is great. It has been since they relaunched it, because the movie came out and it was like at its fever pitch. He won an Eisner for it. It's one of the top books in Marvel. But everything else he has written for Marvel is terrible. And I thought he was just doing a great job with Iron Man. They should have just kept him on Iron Man. That's how I feel. Like, I know that it's different. Greg Land's a great artist. You know what I mean? And I like Gillen because Journey into Mystery, that's what he's currently writing for Marvel. It's really great stuff. He's doing this thing where, at the end of one of those Marvel events, because they all run together, Loki got killed, like the original Loki, and Thor brought him back to life as a kid, like, as he was as a child. And the kid Loki is trying to do things to redeem himself. And it's actually really, really good stuff. Like, I was just reading the CBR's like top 100 comic book runs list, and I actually made the list. Somebody, I think it was like 75 or something like that. So, it's really, really good. I think dude is talented. I just think that I don't know how he will handle Iron Man, because Iron Man is, even though, it's a guy dressed up in a suit of armor, there's a lot of realism tied to Iron Man, while Thor is like, just fantasy. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm gonna check it out, but I don't know.
Yeah, whatever. That's what I think of that.
Why do you feel like that, Josh?
Because I like Greg Land, but Greg Land has the Greg Land haters, and people are, and it'll look pretty, and it will sell lots. It'll sell lots, and people will be like, why is it selling so much? And you'll go, because Greg Land's writing it. But Greg Land only traces. Well, it doesn't matter if he traces; it sells. So that's all that matters.
Incredible. I think his art is incredible.
Then you have Thor: God of Thunder by Jason Aaron.
No, because that
I know.
That dude was pissing me off. Oh my God.
So let's get to a book that won't piss you off. Indestructible Hulk.
And that's why Jason Aaron is pissing me off, because his like it's funny. That's the very next book on your list. That's funny. Because he is a talented dude. Like, Scalped is great. You read Scalped, Josh?
No.
and that's
but I heard it's good
great.
stuff.
I think you'll like that. You know, he's so his Punisher Max. I think this is just me. It's comparable to Garth Ennis's. It's not. I wouldn't say it's. I would say it's on the level. I wouldn't say one is better than the other. I think they both read well together. You know, but his Hulk started so well, and I was like, oh man, this is gonna be great. Especially you got Mark Silvestri on the art. This is gonna be awesome. And then the first arc is awesome. And then something happens.
And then,
Yeah, so Mark left, and then like it was directionless. And then they were alternating artists. You know, they had, like Steve Dillon drawing the Hulk for. Can you imagine Steve? Like I like Steve Dillon, but can you imagine how the Hulk looked with him drawing it? I'm just saying, but you know, and Aaron, it's like Aaron just lost his way. So you know, when I heard that Mark Waid, who I think writes the best book on the shelves right now, a lot of people would disagree. But,
yes,
you know,
he's writing that.
He's you know, I think Daredevil was the best book on the shelves, and I love the Hulk. The Hulk is one of my favorite superheroes, and we're putting Mark Waid on this. I am down with that. like I've already pre-ordered it. I'm definitely getting this without question.
And then we have Deadpool, which is written by 2 comedy writers.
Then I'll probably try it out because Deadpool's fun.
And Tony Moore is doing the art, so that should be pretty good.
I'll check it out. Yeah.
And then we have your buddy Matt Fraction doing Fantastic Four and Future Foundation.
What?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That would suck.
He's with Bagley on Fantastic Four, and Mike. And get this, Mike Allred on Future Foundation.
Oh my god.
I like Mike Allred, but oh my god. I can't wait. I have to see that book just because.
Because people, it's at the point where people just hate Matt Fraction, and you put him on a book with a guy who was probably best at drawing either giant monsters or ultra realistic things. You know what I mean? Like there's no middle ground. You know. Oh man,
yeah.
that's gonna suck. That's gonna suck, people. That's gonna suck.
And then you have Captain America, which is
I'm gonna get that. It's Rick Remender and who else?
And John Romita Jr.
I'm getting that. I'm getting that.
Which have you seen that Captain America?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
It's like why haven't they done this before?
But I didn't see it with color. I just saw like the.
Oh, you haven't seen it with color?
No.
Oh, let me see if I can find it here real quick.
Yeah, but that looks incredible. That looks like every cap ever that you ever liked.
Yeah,
like including movie cap. Like looks like Chris Evans a little bit too. and Remender's my boy. Everything he touches pretty much goes except Venom. That was crap. But yeah, I said it. Yeah, go ahead and put in the little comments. Go ahead and you little trolls. Venom was crap. And if you read it, I hate you. By the way.
I didn't read it.
Okay, well then you're cool.
I don't like Venom.
You would really hate that. Like you would think it. Like it's different, you know. Flash Thompson as a hero. That's kind of cool. But I just thought it was like Avengers versus X-Men.
Okay. It's reaction time. Here you go.
What's that?
Check that out.
Oh shit, son. Yeah. I'm getting that. I'm going to Heroes and Dragons tomorrow. Pre-order this. This looks great. Yeah, that looks great. Yeah, I'm getting that. I'm getting that. This is great, John Romita Jr. Like this is I'm getting that. This is the guy that made Mark Millar look great for years. This guy, that's this guy. So yeah, I'm getting this. Oh my god.
Then we have X-Men Legacy, which is centered around Legion of all people.
What?
Yeah.
Who's writing that?
C. Spurrier?
No, I'm not getting that at all.
Yeah, that's. And then you have Thunderbolts with the team of Deadpool, Elektra, Punisher, Venom, and Red Hulk.
I would be with it, and there's one name you said that made me go, fuck that book. Like, real shit. Every other character, it makes sense on that. It makes sense on that team. There's one person that does not. No business ever being on a team unless he had no choice, and that is the Punisher. Unless it's some type of deal where he has no choice. No, and then Daniel weighs on that too. Fuck
Yes.
that.
And Steve Dillon is doing the art.
There you go. See, and I like Steve Dillon. Let me not act like that, but he shouldn't draw everything. You know, come on.
Yes, he
Like,
needs
there's some things like unless it's like, you know, realism. He shouldn't be drawing it.
Yeah, I agree.
He's gonna draw Red Hulk. Think about it. I just talked about his Hulk. How you think that's gonna look? Like red, like that except red? No.
We have Avengers Arena, which is like a bunch of young Avengers doing stuff.
Oh yeah, that looks kind of cool. It's like the battle royale report.
Yeah.
Who's right? I didn't know.
Dennis Hopeless.
Yeah, that could be alright. You know, I have to see what people say
It
about
has
it.
Darkhawk in it.
Yeah, see, that could be alright. I don't know.
Then you have
You know,
Cable.
Loki-
Then you have Cable and the X-Force.
I'm pissed about that because they're canceling a book that I've been trying to get this man to read and everyone else. This book. And I get why they're doing it because they're giving Rick Remender a bigger role in the Marvel universe. I totally get it, but this is what we're getting. This is
getting
what
two
we're
X-Force books.
I mean, but why are we getting like this? Why is this happening though?
What? Cable, Forge, Domino, Colossus, Doctor Nemesis. Yeah.
Like that's just weird. It's such an odd team.
And then you're getting Uncanny X-Force, which has Psylocke and I guess.
But it's like it's different now though. It's not the one I read. You know, it's not.
I know.
Who's writing that? Who?
That's Sam Humphries.
See, I ain't getting that, man. It's not what I'm reading.
I know.
It's not that.
Then you have Savage Wolverine, which will be written and drawn by Frank Cho.
No.
It'll look pretty.
Yeah. Has he written anything?
I mean, you mean besides Liberty Meadows?
Yeah. Like, has he written anything else?
I don't know. Superhero stuff that I can think of.
I don't know.
Then you have the new Young Avengers.
Who's that?
That's Wiccan, Hulkling, Miss America.
That's Loki, right?
Yeah, Hawkeye, Marvel Girl, or Marvel Boy, and Loki.
I might check that out. I don't know.
Then you have the what has everyone talking this week, the Superior Spider-Man.
God, I ain't even a Spidey fan. I'll let you take that. I ain't even a Spidey fan, but it looks like garbage.
Okay. So at first it was like, okay, they're gonna make Peter dark and crazy, and people went crazy. And I was like, you know what? I'm okay with this. If he's dark for a little while because of everything that's happened over the last 10 years, I'm fine with that.
Like, Josh, did you read?
I know. I'm not there.
Okay, good.
Then we find out that, well, maybe it's not Peter in the spider costume. And I was like, well, fuck this. Then we find out that not only is it not Peter in the spider costume, but that Mary Jane is going out with this Spider-Man.
So there's a good chance that people that have been asking for Mary Jane and Peter just to be together, or for her to be with Spider-Man, she'll be with Spider-Man.
As somebody on Twitter said, this is the ultimate trolling by Marvel. And I agree. Because, I have not read, I will say, Spider-Man was not the first superhero book I ever read. The first superhero book I ever read was X-Men. But Spider-Man was the first superhero book that I read religiously. And
X-Men the first superhero?
Yes. That was the first comic book I ever read was G.I. Joe.
Okay.
From reading G.I. Joe, I saw the ads for Inferno. So I read Inferno. While reading Inferno, I read one of the, I think McFarlane was the one that did I don't know if he did the interiors, but I think he did the cover for one of the Amazing Spider-Man which was one of the, was taking place during Inferno. And so I read it because it was the issue where Hobgoblin actually turned into a goblin, instead of just having a rubber mask on. And I started reading Spider-Man after that, mainly because it was a lot easier to read because, X-Men had all this history they had to catch up on, which I eventually did, but I religiously read Spider-Man. I have not read a Spider-Man story since Mary Jane and Peter were split up.
And I don't blame you.
That was the dumbest thing. It is almost as dumb. It's not as dumb. It's almost as dumb as the stupid DC thing of not having Clark and Lois Lane together.
I would argue, though, that that's dumber. Because the reason why I would say that is because people that don't know comics, they know Spider-Man and Mary Jane are an item. You know what I mean?
The same thing about Lois Lane and...
But they're not always an item, though, Josh. Like, you don't always... Like, every time you see them, they're not always an item. Like, there's tension there.
True.
But they're not always... But Peter and Spidey... Mary Jane and Spidey are always an item. So I would argue that that's dumber. Both are dumb, but that's dumb.
And epically dumb. Not even just dumb. They're both epically dumb. So yeah, that's Marvel now. And then, of course, we also have Secret Avengers, which I know nothing about.
Yeah,
and the book that you're looking forward to, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh my God, I will kill you. Man, why Bendis? I like Steve McNiven, that's my guy, but why Bendis?
Because we're getting hypernatural. See, that's the trade-off for us getting hypernaturals.
They can do both.
If you're not reading Hypernaturals, by the way, you need to read it.
Like if you read any of the Cosmic Marvel stuff, you need to read that.
I didn't even read any of the Cosmic Marvel stuff, and yeah.
They're pretty much doing their cosmic thing, just with different characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, just read that. Seriously.
The last issue, the end of the last issue, kind of a brain fuck. Kinda. I have no other way of putting it.
It was something that even if you can guess anything you've ever read or watched, you still wouldn't be able to guess that was going to happen.
And it happened
no way.
On the page. It was like, huh? Yeah.
That book is great. That's probably one of the 5 best on the shelves right now.
Yeah, I agree. I love that book. That book is so is Batman your number 2?
You want to do that real quick? Let's do that real quick.
Yeah, we can do that real quick.
My 5 would be Batman would be my 1.
Oh, you said Daredevil.
No. Daredevil would be my 1. Batman would be my 2. Hypernaturals is my 3. Artifacts my 4. And 5 is either Uncanny X-Force or what is it? I just had it and I lost it. The Walking Dead, one of those 2.
See, mine would be Batman, Elephant Men, Hypernaturals, and Artifacts. So
yeah, all agree. I hadn't read Elephant Man, but everyone tells me that's greatness.
Yeah. And if you haven't been reading Artifacts, it's good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, don't even matter. You can read this next issue and you'll be fine.
Yes, yeah. Pretty much, because they just ended a story arc. So, though apparently, just so you know, not this issue, but next issue, we find is in Artifacts, Sarah's finally showing up.
Oh, okay.
And apparently she's gonna find out what happened.
What about how reality got?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cause that was some shady shit. Like that was like.
Just in case none of you know, and probably most of you don't, because most people don't read Top Cow for some stupid reason.
Hold on, doesn't Image like own them now?
Yeah, it's they are an image imprint.
Then why don't people just like images? Like everyone has a boner for image. Why don't you just read? You
I don't know. I don't know because it's got that stupid top cow, and they're all like, "Oh, it's freaking TNA book."
that's not true at all. Like
It's
and I'll be honest. I'll be honest. When I was in high school, that was true. But that's not true anymore. Like there's a lot of those are really mature. I don't read Witchblade for the darkness. I'm going to get back into the darkness, but Artifacts, I can tell you, is some of the most mature storytelling on the shelves. Like it's not, like it's not for the faint of heart, but it's actually like thought provoking stuff. It's not like just ass and titties.
but it's I mean it's
Like the chicks aren't even drawn like that, and
No.
and the art in that is next level.
yeah. I mean the closest thing they've got in their studio would be Artifacts, and only because the guy that draws it does digital paint, and so the women, the women, the men, everything is just like insane looking.
Detail,
Yeah, it's like, but if you don't know, they started doing Artifacts. They announced it was going to be a 13-issue miniseries, and then announced that, oh no, it's going to be a full series because at the end of the series, we're rebooting our entire universe. And they did.
And it wasn't confusing.
It wasn't confusing. It was just, and what happened was Darkness, Jackie, got the ability to remake the universe as he saw fit. So he did. And being the asshole that he is, he not only got to bring back his girlfriend, his one true love, he got to keep his daughter, who he got by technically, he didn't rape the Witchblade or Sarah, but the Darkness did. I know that sounds very confusing, and unless you read what happened, it kind of is. But
I mean, not really. All you got, the Darkness is alive. Like,
Yes.
it kind of has a will of his own.
yeah, the Darkness took over Jackie, and while Sarah was unconscious, basically raped her, and then they had a child. And the child has abilities that we don't know what the deal is as of yet. But apparently she can. I haven't read The Darkness either, but apparently in The Darkness, as I understand it, their child Hope actually has some sort of control over the Darkness.
The best thing about Artifacts, though, that you didn't touch on is that the whole story, Jackie seems like a pretty alright guy, and then at the end he does something just awful.
But I'm going to do what I want to do, and
I knew he was, because when I was younger, I used to read The Darkness, and he was like, he's just a dick. Like, he's a hero that is a dick, and it works. And like in Artifacts, I was like, this ain't the dude I remember. And then when it happened, I was like, okay, that's the dude I remember.
So anyway,
it's awesome though.
So his child is him and Sarah's child, but Sarah doesn't remember having a child now after he rewrote the universe. And so, like I said, it's not this coming issue, but it's the issue. I think it's the issue after. She kind of finds out that her child is alive and that Jackie has been a dick, and we will get big, nasty fight, no doubt. So, but yeah, if you're not reading Artifacts, you should read Artifacts. That's
what were we talking about?
we were talking about our top 5.
Yeah,
that's what we were talking about. And so, but yeah, that's what I would. And also, I would say, and I said this on Twitter, and this. Coming from me, this is a big thing. Marquis knows this because I talk about it a lot. If you are not reading any of the new Valiant stuff, there is something seriously wrong with you. To me, even though I don't read all of it,
you at least need to read Bloodshot.
See, I don't like. That's the one I don't like.
You're crazy. See, the one I don't like is the one everyone else likes. You're weird.
Exo Manowar.
Yeah, that's the one I don't like. I don't know, but
Archer and Armstrong is awesome.
That is great.
Let's see, but there's 4 books. There's
Bloodshot, Archer and Armstrong, Exo Manowar, and
what's the other one?
What is it? Harbinger. Yeah,
Harbinger. Yeah.
And that's awesome.
And that's awesome too. Harbinger is freaking awesome.
I hadn't read the newest one though.
But those 4 books are as good as just about anything out there right now. And for a company to basically start out and all 4 books be where I would you know, put them at that level is saying something.
And I would say that it's actually, and those books are a lot different from the way it reminds me of like how comics were wrote in the 90s. To be honest with you, like because now, like now the big two do this. Every indie does this, where like everything has to be some sort of long arc,
Yeah.
and each issue feels like a standalone, but it's not really a standalone. Like each issue feels like that though.
Yeah, it's good stuff, and the whole line's
It's
like that. They're getting ready.
each I would say that Bloodshot reminds me of like if y'all ever seen it, like 24. It's like 24 with a with like a it's weird, man. It's weird.
Yeah, but it's all good stuff, and I would recommend the whole thing. And they're getting ready to release Shadow Man and Ninjex soon.
And Shadow Man is exactly what you think.
Yes, Shadow Man is interesting. I won't even try to explain Shadow Man because I won't do it justice.
You don't have to. It's how it sounds.
Yeah.
Just think about that.
Ninjex is too. Ninjex is a ninja. So, but that whole line is awesome, and definitely check it out. I would say.
And they got top notch creators on it too. It's
Yeah.
not like a bunch of
Yeah.
guys you've heard of too. So
It's like wow. And every issue has looked good. Every issue has read good. So.
you know what we're gonna call this? We're gonna call this Random Comics.
Yeah.
Right.
That's any other random comics you want to talk about?
Dynamite. They Remender's writing something for Dynamite I saw earlier. What was that? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, Josh.
What? Bendis?
Remender. He's doing something for Dynamite.
I don't know what he's doing for Dynamite. I know.
Well, yeah.
I know. Mark Wade's doing something.
Oh yeah. We gotta talk about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Green Hornet. That's
Yeah.
your book. You go ahead and talk about that.
Mark Wade is their. I don't know if they're relaunching Green Hornet. I don't know if it's going to be a complete relaunch, and I don't know if it's going to be set off which Green Hornet, because currently Dynamite there's 4 or 5 different Green Hornets. There's Golden Age Green Hornet, there's Year One Green Hornet, there's TV series Green Hornet, and then there's modern day Green Hornet, which is based off of Kevin Smith's original script, which was 1,000 times better than the fucking movie. And
I still never seen it. I won't throw it under the bus.
Yeah, I'll throw it under the bus and then some. The thing is they used a lot of his ideas in the movie, but yeah. And then Green Hornet Strikes Back. So I don't know where this one falls in with all of that, but if you have not read Green Hornet Year One, go read that like now. But but Mark Waid is going to be doing that, and also Dynamite is going to. I don't think it's this week. I think it's next week. But it might be this week. Masks #1 comes out, which is a crossover with the Shadow, Green Hornet, the Spider, and
I haven't even heard about it. It's news to
Really?
me. Yeah, I hadn't heard about it.
yeah. Let me find it here.
Cause I dropped the Shadow and my store stopped having the spiders. So.
Really? You need
Yeah, I didn't like the Shadow, man. I love Garth Ennis, but I didn't like that.
Shadow. Now Spider's awesome. I'm missing somebody.
Who'd you say? The Spider, the Shadow, Green Hornet?
It's
You sure?
yeah. It's only Vigilantes like the Shadow, Green Hornet, and the Spider. Okay, those are the only 3. Let's see. And Zorro.
Oh yeah, okay, all right. It's
Wait,
Dynamite. I should have known that.
Yeah.
And it's written by. Oh yeah, I did. It's Matt Wagner, right? Isn't that
No.
what it is?
It's written by. Who's it written by?
What's Wagner doing?
Wagner's doing something else. This is by Chris Robertson.
Oh really?
Yeah. But the interior art is being done by a gentleman by the name of Alex Ross.
Oh shit.
At least for issue 1. So
Whoa, Alex Ross is drawing Zorro?
he's doing Zorro. He's doing on the cover of the first one you got Green Hornet, Kato, or the second one. You have Green Hornet, Kato, Zoro, Spider, and the Shadow. I don't know who that is, and I don't know who that is. And just for people who have not read any of the Dynamite stuff, particularly the Green Hornet stuff, I would imagine at some point the other masked character that they have will be showing up, called the Lone Ranger, some way, somehow. So,
How they gonna do that?
Well,
In that book? You sure about that?
yeah, I'm pretty sure.
How would they do that?
But it'll be like a flashback or something. But because they've been setting that up forever. There's little like hints. If you read Lone Ranger and you read the Shadow stuff, or not the Shadow, and Green Hornet, they do little hints where there's pictures of the Lone Ranger in like paintings and stuff in Green Hornet, and then in the first run of Lone Ranger, the Lone Ranger's nephew is fascinated by hornets.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
It's like, huh, interesting. But yeah, so there's that stuff, and then this week also as well. I'll probably have this up in time, I'm sure. Just so you know, if you go to your local comic shop, you can get a free comic book this week.
What's that?
Cyberforce #1.
Oh yeah, they are giving that out. They're just giving that away. Yeah.
Out the entire series. They're giving away the entire series. So.
And a lot of people that has a lot of hype. So.
Yep. And it should be good. Yeah. I'm pretty big in it. I was a backer, so on their Kickstarter. So.
Anything else you want to add, Josh? You got any other book?
No, that's the only books I can think of. That I'm trying to think of anything else. I would say check out Thundar, or Thunda, I should say, which is based on an old Frank Frazetta comic that he used to do, except that the current story sucks.
Who's writing it?
I don't even remember. But
I saw it. I was like, this looks like something Josh reads.
If you look in the back, they're actually redoing the original series, which was done by Frank Frazetta, in the back, and it is pretty awesome to read. They've recolored it, reinked it a little bit,
So it's basically the same.
No,
it is the same. Is it?
It's not, because they probably won't be they did the entire first issue. I think it was not even the entire first issue. It was like half of the first issue in book 1, and that will probably, for them to catch up with the current story to that story, will probably be like issue 8 or 9. I'm not lying. Let's see. Writer is Robert Place Napton. I don't know.
Who was that?
I don't know. He's not very good.
Come on, Josh. You might have done something else and was great at it.
Maybe, but he's not good in this. And
I don't know. I saw it and I was like, "It looks like something you read."
Yeah, I mean, if you want guys in the jungle, go read freaking Lord of the Jungle. That's a much better book. So, which is Tarzan, just so people know, but they can't call it Tarzan. So it's Tarzan. I mean, it is Tarzan. They just can't call it Tarzan.
Copyright.
Yeah. Well, it's
too much to explain.
Because I mean, I think issue 1 had Tarzan on the front. Now it's Lord of the Jungle. So, but
okay, that's weird.
Yeah, it's hard to explain. Like I said, let's see another book. Skull Kickers.
It's just something I keep hearing about from you and other people.
That is awesome. That is, if you are like me and a certain Joe Mad pissed you off about 10 years ago with a book that he did not finish, I would definitely recommend going and getting this because it is just as good as that series was.
And I seen the art. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And same with Pathfinder. Pathfinder was really good too if you want some fantasy type stuff.
A lot of people have been telling me to read that.
Yeah, it's good too, I would say. It's really all I can think of that I think is pretty good.
All right, I got a few. I know you're gonna be like, oh God, you and everyone else, but I just want to talk about Saga for a second. Oh yeah, I know, Josh. Written by the same man that wrote Why the Last Man. It has pretty much like not the same tone, but it's the journey type deal that Why the Last Man was. If you like that, I think you should get some sort of enjoyment out of this. Yeah, I mean, I think that.
I know.
Josh, you know you're like in the minority, right?
Yes, very much. I'm in the minority on that book, but and it's a very pretty book, and it's written very well, as was Why the Last Man. But yeah, it does absolutely nothing for me.
I will say this though. I think there's a little too many characters in the actual story, to the point where it's kind of hard to connect with any of them because there's way too many characters. But the story is interesting. Like they're doing this thing with the one character, how he had the sword that he could never unsheath because he was non-violent. Then the sword breaks. Like I won't ruin it, but some stuff happens, and I just thought that was kind of cool because he's considered like a deadly assassin, but he was he never took out a sword. I thought that was cool. It was kind of like if Samurai Jack never took out a sword. So that's one. Here's another one. Josh is gonna be like, yeah, you too. Dancer just finished for Image Comics. Nathan Edmondson wrote that. Same guy. He's good at these spy type things. Premise of that is that this guy, he used to be like a professional assassin, and then he was on this trip with this chick he really liked. I'm assuming they never really explained that's his wife or anything. It's not that important, but and then they get shot at by this guy that looks exactly like him. He finds out it's a clone, and and it just gets deeper and deeper for him. It's like a weird, like Born Identity type deal. Type. I think a lot of people like it. It's really, really good. I know Josh. I remember you telling me, I didn't want that. I remember you telling me that. The Transformers stuff right now. That's really good too. They're doing this thing with they're taking the old stories and the ones they left off on, and they've just gone from there. And I'll be honest with you, I hadn't really liked that, but I think it's a cool idea, and just for that, I would say check it out. You know what I mean? Because that doesn't happen.
It's the same thing they did with G.I. Joe.
Yeah, they did that with G.I. Joe.
Yeah, where they started off where the Marvel Comics stopped, and then they just picked up right from where it left off.
Like, stuff like that doesn't happen often. I would say check it out because that's cool. You know what I mean? But I like the other stuff. Like they just released Transformers More Than East Africa, and that is an annual for real. Like now annuals come out and they're like just any other issues except a little bit longer. Not that one. Like a lot of like groundbreaking stuff happens in that. Like stuff that you may not have known about. The Cybertronians, things like that. TMNT is great. Check that out too. And All-Star Western, that's the other DC book I read. Check that out. And because I'm not I'm the opposite of Josh. I'm really into the Lone Ranger, but I love Jonah Hex, and like he's the opposite. So, which is weird.
I should like Jonah Hex and
I should like the Lone Ranger.
I like the old school Jonah Hex stuff. So I don't know.
What, the stuff in the 70s?
Yeah.
Oh man, the Palmiotti stuff is better. I don't know what's wrong with you guys. It's coming from me.
I know. I'm just saying that I just don't get it. I don't know why I don't like it. We forgot Manhattan Projects, by the way.
Oh yeah, that too. Manhattan Project.
Go read that. That's like that will fry your brain. And if you like Manhattan Projects, check out. Now I can't remember the name of the stupid thing. I gotta go check. But no, Manhattan Projects is very good.
Josh, hold on one second.
What?
All right, I'm back. Did you stop? Did you stop recording?
Nah, yeah, that's right. I can edit it out.
All right, okay. All right, now what were we talking about?
I was talking about Manhattan Projects
Yeah,
and the
go ahead,
fact
go ahead.
that's awesome. That will trip you out.
I can't even explain it. Like,
It's it's and if you like
it's,
that, I would also
I would say I would best describe it as this: is all the conspiracy theories you heard about the WW2 era of world history is all that.
and then some. It's like, hey, what the hell? And then Think Tank. That's
See,
really good.
I hadn't read that.
That's good. It's black and white. Just to warn you, it's old school indie, but it's good black and white. Um, it's another Top Cow book, but it's really really good. It's really really good. I would recommend that, and I think is that pretty much it. And Superbia. That's one I
You
would.
know what? You were now the sixth person to bring that up to me, so I guess I got to read it now.
Yeah, the first trade is out. They're getting ready to do a monthly. They did a mini series. Basically, what it's based on is you have an Avengers type team, and they basically live in the suburbs on the same block, and it's it's kind of like them interacting, and it's less the heroes and more like their spouses and families. So it's interesting to say the least. It's very different type of superhero book, yet has a lot of superhero elements to it. So,
I think that's essentially everything I read. I think. I think we talked about everything
I'm trying to think,
I
is there
read at
anything
least.
else that I don't? Let's see what else I can work on here and see what can we say. The Hellboy stuff. I'll always recommend the Hellboy
I mean,
stuff.
yeah, but that go without saying. BPRD Hellboy, that goes without saying.
Let's see. Oh, Fatal. Definitely go check out Fatal.
You're another person telling me about that.
Yeah,
Guess I gotta check
Fatal's
that.
awesome. Good. I like Cthulhu stuff, and that's Cthulhu stuff mixed with crime noir. I can't go without that. I think that's it.
Mm.
Yeah, because what else I have on Comicology? Cerebus, but I don't think anybody listening to this wants to talk about Cerebus.
Why you say that?
Let's see, what else I got on here? Facts.
Anything you're excited about?
They're putting Snyder on Superman. That's gonna fail.
You think so?
That's gonna fail.
You
It's
think so?
Snyder and Jim Lee on. That's destined to fail. It might.
This has to be sarcasm.
No, I mean I shouldn't say that. The book will probably sell a ton, but it will be like Action Comics now, which sells a ton, and yet I don't know anyone that reads it.
But that's different though. Like that, come on. You think Snyder would more set up Superman if that happened?
No, if he can do I mean, the thing with Superman is you have to do True Blue.
Oh, we didn't talk about Smallville. Go ahead, Josh.
Oh, I didn't talk about Smallville. Best Superman comic out there. Yes, I said it.
I mean, that's not hard though.
Yeah, it's not hard.
Most of them suck, but
I said it. The comic is actually maybe a billion times better than everything that comic book fans hated about the TV show. Not a problem in the comics.
I've read 3 issues. It's just no one buys it, so my store never has it.
Just go online and buy it.
I mean, I don't like reading online. Oh, you mean it's like from like Amazon and shit? I might, but
Or from Comicology.
I don't like digital comics, but
Because then you can get it every week.
it's good, man.
It's really good. I mean, I'll put it this way. Issue 12 has Batman.
Really?
Yes.
Smallville's version of Batman. Everybody got to read that just for that.
It's Batman and Robin is who's Huntress? The real Huntress, not the person playing Huntress.
The person playing Huntress. Her name? I don't
Yeah, I can't remember her name.
Helena's been Huntress for so long, I can't remember.
Not Helena.
I mean, I know that's the knockoff.
Yeah, but I can't think. Her, I think is who it is. If I remember right. Anyway, it's a girl. It's not Dick or anybody. It's a girl. So